everyone, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching. So today I'm going to show you this card that I've made, which I'm calling a triple bridge fold card. So you've got the 3 panels here, and I've decorated these so they look like very brightly coloured planters. And then I've used these lovely new stamps, and I'll show you all that in a moment. You've got a space on the back to stamp and write your message, and it all stands up, and then it will all fold flat. But you want to make sure that your decoration doesn't hang over like mine, otherwise you'll have to make a bigger envelope. But this will fit into a 5x7 envelope. I've also added some fun detail there with this very thin silver thread, so it looks like water's coming out of the watering can, and I've used some of my accent glaze there as well. This is a dead easy card to make. You don't need any specialty dies at all, so it's a great one for beginners. So let's get started. So for this card I'm doing the same theme, but I'm using more traditional colours. So I've got brown for the planters, and then I've coloured all of the images more to how probably you would colour them rather than the brights that I've used there. This is the stamp set, so it's another one of the Adventures in Ink sets that I'm kind of working my way through at the moment. This is part of the All Summer Days collection, and it's the Love Grows. And again, as always, everything will be linked in the description box below the video. So this one is a great one to adapt to any size card you want. So you want a piece of 5x7 because that's the size card I want. If you want to make a 6x6, have a piece of 6x6. If you make smaller cards, whatever size it is, and then all you want to do is cut yourself 3 strips, and the width can be whatever you want. I'll talk you through the lengths in a moment, but it's a really fun one to adapt. You don't have to have triple panels. You could have one at the top, one at the bottom, maybe 2 towards the bottom. I don't know, you get the idea. There's lots of ways to use this. So one piece of 5x7, and then on the back I've already cut myself a piece of 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and then 4.5 by 6.5 in the brown and the white there. So I've got, again, mats and layers and place to write my message. So that's all ready to go, and we're going to stick everything onto that in a moment. The 3 panels here, so mine are 1 3/4 by 7, and that's giving me a 1 inch height. So when they come up, it's going to come up 1 inches here. You want to score at 1, 2, 5 and 6. Okay, and do that on 3 pieces. And then you want to fold so you have a valley, then a mountain, another mountain fold, and a valley. So the valley, mountain, mountain, valley. So that's all of the scoring. So then if you want to cover this piece, you need to do that now, because we're going to start sticking these all on. So what I recommend you do is first of all stick the top and the bottom. Get those all lined up, and then you can position the middle one. So I'm going to start at the top here, just added a bit of glue to that end tab, and just place that down like so. Again, take another one, get all of the left side stuck first, let that dry, and then it's a bit easier then to do the other side. So again, line that all up, and then I'm going to take the middle one, again add my glue, and then line that up. And if you're doing this size with the same width strips, the gaps here were 7/8 of an inch. So using the liquid glue does give you a little bit of wiggle time, so it's nice to just make sure it's completely lined up, and make sure your bottom one is completely flat. You don't want that card to wobble. So now I'm going to fold this back, and then just fold that end one over. Again, add my glue, and then I'm just going to fold that flat. And now I know that's going to fit in my envelope because it folds flat. Then I've got these pieces here, which are going to be my planters. So I've cut the brown card here. These pieces are the same size as my front panel. So 3 by 1 3/4, and then these are 1 by 1 3/4 to go on each side. This is going to be optional. Not everybody's going to do this, and you might have pattern paper. These might already be decorative strips. You might have them in different colours. Like I said, it's going to be different for everyone. But what I am going to do now is just slowly trim these off, just ever so slightly. I'm just going to just take a little bit off of each side. So that one and that one, and it's just going to remove a little bit of the bulk, and I'm going to do that on every one. Okay, so that's just taking a bit of the bulk off. You'll just find it will make a difference when you go to fold it flat. So now I'm going to stick all of these down on here, and then the side pieces like so. Okay, so now I've got my 3 planters, and then I've already stamped and coloured the images here from the stamp set, and I've got my sentiment. I'm going to follow exactly the same, well, pretty much the same layout as that. I do want to make sure this one, when it folds flat, everything's within the 5x7 size. This is the embossing folder I use. I don't think I showed it. It's the linen print made to surprise one, and it looks really nice for baskets. So I'm going to pop the sentiment down in the same place, but I am going to just arrange the images slightly differently. And I'll show you how I made the little water effect on the watering can there. So I'm just going to pop it up on some foam. Just place that one down there. So I've got this thread here. I think I got a pack of 6 from the range. They were really, really cheap, but it's really fine silver thread. So I just cut, I don't know, 10 strands there, and I've just stuck them behind the watering can there. And I'm going to have this positioned about there, I think. So I want it, I kind of bent them so it looked like it was kind of pouring out. So I'm going to add a little glue on there, and kind of want it to be like that. So just get that in place. So it's all going to fold this way down. So whilst that's drying, for this layout, I'm going to have this one overhanging. I'm then going to have the boot just slightly in front, and then the lavender behind the boot. Or do I want it in front? No, behind the boot. Yeah, so I'm going to have it like that. So the overhang is on the right side, so that then everything will fit in the envelope on the left side. So whatever side you're pushing down to, you don't want any overhang. Keep all your overhang on this side here. And then the flower that the watering can's watering is going to be here. So I want this to all be hidden behind this flower. And then I've got my little fork there, which I'm just going to kind of position right on the edge of the sentiment there. So it's lifted up, but again, when I go to close it, everything's within that size. Okay, so now back to this one. If you grab some tweezers, if you're doing a similar effect to me, you can kind of hold them all together like so, and then I'm just going to bend it around until I've kind of got it where I want it. Yeah, that looks about right. So I'm just going to add the glue over the top there. Just let that sit there for a second, and then I'm going to add some foam to the back of the flower or plant like so. Because that's all held together with the glue, I can just snip those bits away, and that should now, there we go, still holds itself in place. And then I can just take this one, which has got the foam, and just sandwich that between all of those little threads. You can see how effective that looks using that silver thread. It really does glisten and look like water's coming out of the watering can. So this one I'm going to leave as it is. You can see on this one I've added some butterflies. They're also in the stamp set there. So you could add a couple if you wanted to, but I'm going to keep this one completely plain on the back so they really pop. You can see it all stands really nicely, and this one will all fold flat and fit in a 5x7 envelope, or you could pop it in a box envelope. This will definitely go in a bouncy envelope as well, and I'll have those all linked up. It's really easy for the recipient to know what to do with this one, and like I said, I think they display really nicely. So I'm definitely going to be revisiting this. When I made this one during a Facebook Live, I went through so many different variations and ways that you could have the panels, so you'll definitely see some more of these being shared on the channel. Hope you've enjoyed this today. As always, everything I've used will be linked in the description box below the video. I'll have some other of the tutorials using the Adventures in Ink stamps coming up now as well. You might want to watch those next, and I'll see you all again very soon. Take care. Bye.